Hey, this is just a bass lesson for the new 21 Pilots song, Jumpsuit. The song's in E standard, so E, A, D and G. I'll play the intro first, and then I'll show you how to play it yourself. So just a quick note, tone-wise, you'll probably want some kind of distortion or saturated sound, at least for the intro and some of the build-ups. In my cover, I run everything through an Axe Effects, so I had like a bass amp and then a drive pedal in that, which I'd switch on and off depending on what part of the song I was playing. So ideally, you'd probably want kind of like an overdriven setting, and then a clean, kind of deep bassy sound for the verses and the bridge. But yeah, just kind of basic, heavy and clean sound. So anyway, for the intro riff, you start on a D note, so 10 on the E string, and you go down to a B, so 7 on the E, and you play it 3 times. And then you do like a quick little slide up from the 9 to the from the 7 to the 10. Sorry. So, but you don't really hear the individual notes too much because it's just quite a quick slide. So it's not like a or anything like that. So just like that, and then you go down to an F sharp, so 2 on the E string, and you play that twice, and then you let it ring out for a beat. So far, just like this. And then you got the you go to a B note, so 7 on the E string. Play that twice, and then you can either slide or hammer on from the 5 to the 7 on the E. So, or whatever's easier for you. I think if you're alright with hammer-ons, probably do hammer-ons, just because finger positions are a bit easier for the whole riff if you're hammering on instead of sliding, because you're having to kind of reposition each time. But it doesn't really make a difference unless you've got really low strings, so you hear a lot of fret buzz, which there's like a bit in the song, but you probably don't want too much. But anyway, yeah, so it's just... And in the last bit you go hammer on or slide from the 5 to the 7 on the A string, and then play the 9 on the E twice. I think the easiest way probably is to hammer on the E string, and then when you get to the A string, slide up, because you're moving up the fretboard anyway. So that's probably the easiest way to do it, but you know, you can slide all of it or you can hammer on all of them, whatever's easier for you to play. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole riff. It doesn't really change except from the outro. So I'll play it slowly again, and then hopefully you'll be able to play it as well. Okay, so the second part is just a verse, which if you're switching between 2 tones, you'll want like a cleaner tone for this one. In the video I played the riff with a pick, and then I switched to my fingers for the verses, so you can do that if you want to. But anyway, I'll show you how to play it and then go through it slowly. So all that is really is just kind of sliding between the root notes of the chords. So you start on a G and you hold that out until the last half of the beat. So, and then you can hear the bass kind of sliding up. So you slide, you don't really slide to a specific note, but I guess kind of aim for like the 10th fret. So, and you go to a 9 on the A string, and then you go 7 on the E, and then I'm pretty sure it's the A octave, like the higher octave of the A, so that would be 7 on the D string. So yeah, that's the first bit, so just and then second bit, same exact thing, except from instead of doing the high octave of the A, you do the low octave, so just a 5th on the E string instead of 7 on the D. So that's the first part of the verse, and then the second part is I think there's still an actual bass playing it. It could be a synth bass, but I think it's a regular bass. But it's just kind of playing in time with the drums, kind of like a syncopated thing. So you do that kind of pattern. So 1, 2, 1, and then 1 when you go down. So that's just a G again, so 3rd on the E, and then down to the F sharp, which is 2 on the E, and then you go to a B. You can do it on the 7 if you want. I was doing it on the 2 on the A, so and same pattern again, and then open A or 5 on the A, wherever you're playing it. And that goes twice, and in the second time, instead of doing you just play it for 16 counts, so as it builds up, and then it goes back into the intro riff, so that part. Okay, so after you do the riff again, you just got second verse, which changes quite a bit from the first one. So this time you start on the 10 on the A, so the octave higher than the 3rd on the E. So you just hold that out, and then you just do this little run where it's just like that. So it's just open E, 5th on the A, and then twice on the B string, so 7 on the E. So. And then you do that again, so the open 5, 7. And then you get to the second part, which just goes like this, which is just playing along with the vocal melody. So. And you did a slide up to the 14th on the D string, so. And then it has this, there's like a synth bass that plays this really low octave, so I didn't play that because you'd have to down tune, but then it would throw off the whole song. So you let the synth bass do that note, and then you just do the part again. So that's the first part of the second verse, and then you got that is all the second verse, sorry, and then you got the pre-chorus, which is just the build up again, so that thing, but you're playing 16ths instead, so. So it's just, like I said, you're just playing 8s, I guess, of the chords that you, or the notes, sorry, that you were playing. So it's 3rd on the E, and then you go 9 on the A string, and then 7 on the E, and then down to 5 on the E, and then same thing again. And you just stay on the B for 16 counts. Alright, so after the build up, you've got the bridge, or break, whatever you want to call it, which is just playing single notes and then you just hold them. So you start with a D, so 5 on the A string, and you go 4 on the A and 2 on the A. Back to 4 and back to 5, so that's just the whole thing. Yeah, so. Alright, and then that'll take you to the main part of the bridge, which is mostly just piano. I'm not 100% sure if there is bass in there. I definitely hear it at the end, but it's a bit hard to hear with all the low notes of the piano as well. But you're pretty much just playing the root notes of the piano chords. So you go 5 on the A to start with, and you go open A, and you have this little walk up where you go 7 on the E, 9 on the E, and then 10 on the, 7 on the A, 9 on the A, and 10 on the A. And then that kind of transitions back into the verse, which is just this bit. So. And you just play that like you did in the first verse. So altogether, the bridge and the transition goes like this. Alright, and that's almost all the song. The only other bits are the build up again, which is just that that thing, but you're playing 8th notes again, so. And you just, there's this little change in the bass where instead of just holding on the B, you go 5 on the E and then play it open twice. So and then that will just take you into the main riff again, which the first part stays the same, so you're just doing that whole thing, and then it does like a halftime version of it where you play where you started, so the 10 on the E, so, and you just kind of slowly slide down and you kind of hear all those notes in there as well, so to the D, so, and then slide 9 to 10, oh sorry, 7 to 10, and then 2 on the E, so. And then again, it's kind of just the same as it. Play that bit, and in the very last change, you do your slide from the 5 to the 7 on the A, and then you end on the low octave of the F sharp. So there, instead of on the 9. So really slowly, the outro just goes like this. So that should be all of the song. There is quite a lot of parts to Jumpsuit, so it's probably not like the easiest one to pick up straight away, but it's not too difficult. There's nothing like that would stop you from learning that, I don't think. The trickiest part is probably just that main riff, but again, you'll get the timings and everything down, and just try playing it with slides if it's hard to play with hammer-ons or vice versa. So yeah, that should be all of it. Hopefully the lesson helps you, and let me know if you're having any trouble with it in the comments and I'll try and help you out.